What up, everybody? This is Magic Mike,
and the swag,
and we're here for a special episode of our little podcast series. We're going to talk about Manu Ginobili.
Oh yeah,
retiring. A sad day in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Sad day for the Spurs. Sad day for just basketball lovers anywhere. Yeah. Right? Ginobili was just such a amazing, iconic piece. Doesn't really get enough credit, partially because he was on the Spurs, partially because he was coming off the bench. But dude was amazing. Stud. Absolutely amazing. One of the best European players of all time, if not the best European player of all time. The guy was unbelievable, right? 2 All-Star appearances.
Yeah.
Coming off the bench, he was still good enough to make the All-Star team.
6 Man of the
Year. Yeah, 6 Man of the Year. 4-time champion.
Yep. In
16 years. So that means a quarter of the time he's winning the championship, and he's like an integral part of that. Greg Popovich, one of the greatest coaches of all time, changed his coaching style because Ginobili was such a transcendent player that he just said, I got to let Manu be Manu. Guy was unbelievable. He could do everything. Just zero, like no weakness. Yeah. He could pass, and like some of the passes he had were just absolutely dirty. He could shoot the 3 ball. He could penetrate and put the ball on the ground, create plays. He could finish at the rim. Even in his later years, he could still throw down and get up. But the guy was just absolutely amazing. Played defense, could steal the ball, could block shots. All out like locker room guy. Perfect. Perfect. Just person that you want in your organization. But yeah, thoughts. What are you thinking?
I think he's exciting. I remember him last year against Golden State. I mean, this dude's dunking on them, like unbelievable. Well, he's 40 or 41, I believe.
Yeah.
40 years old, just going crazy on the rim, dunking. I mean, like you said, he's a transcendent player. I mean, just looking at social media, all the people who gave tribute to him retiring was just like unbelievable. And I mean, 16 years, 4 championships, 25% of the time. He never didn't make the playoffs. Like, that's just insane.
Yeah.
I mean, true competitor. Let's talk about the time he caught a bat. I mean, what can't he do?
Yeah, that was pretty intense. I forgot about that.
And that was, so when he retired, that was the main highlight.
No, there was a bat loose in the arena, and everyone's freaking out because there's a bat. Ginobili, like, just out of nowhere, just grabs the bat. From, like, incredible. Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah, there you go. Batman.
That's right.
And like, everybody's got to retire sometime.
Yeah.
And we get that. But and like, you see players that are still like contributing at like 40, 41 years old. Vince Carter's still doing work. But not at the level Ginobili was. I mean, there really wasn't that big of a drop off. And so for me, I like watching the Spurs. To me, it's like, man, he could still play another year or two. Yeah. Like, he was still like doing work.
Yeah.
Just real sad day in the NBA, right?
It is, but at the same time, it's good for you because Lonnie Walker takes on a bigger role. Right. So they have a replacement. I think the biggest disappointment was I feel like he would have been the perfect mentor for DeMar.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Now, I'm sure he learned a little bit because he was around the locker room. I'm sure Jim Ginobili went through training camp, practiced a lot, so DeMar was able to get some of that. Like, just imagine DeMar being mentored by Ginobili.
Yeah.
Like, they have basically a similar, like, body type, similar abilities. Now, DeMar is probably a better flat-out scorer.
Right.
But, I mean, kind of same player.
Maybe. I don't even know about that. Like, Ginobili just doesn't get enough shine. Like, I feel like if he were to play on any other team, right? Like, if he were to be drafted by any other team other than the Spurs. Now, first and foremost, I think the Spurs was the perfect situation.
Yeah.
I think he was a Spurs guy, so that was like no better situation than that. However, if he was drafted by any of the other teams in the NBA, he would be starting, and he would be scoring 20, 30 points a game.
But is that, I mean, so what we were talking about earlier, like stat-wise, it's like certain teams, like the Phoenix Suns, like, Devin Booker is a fantastic player, no discredit to him. But when your team's averaging like 120 points per game versus a team like, the Spurs who average like 98, I mean, that's a massive window of more points, and you figure Devin Booker's getting like 40% of that. So, like, you put Devin Booker into like the Spurs offense, I guarantee he's averaging 18, 19, not this 26, whatever he's averaging.
Right.
The Suns
No, yeah, I agree. And like
so
again,
I see where you're coming from.
Spurs best situation for him,
Yeah.
and but I think he doesn't get enough credit because being part of the Spurs, it's all about sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
You got to sacrifice your stats, playing time. It's all for the betterment of the organization, and I thought he embodied that from day one, which is so mature, especially for a guy who was like EuroLeague MVP and as talented as he was, and continues to be. He was like, nah, like I'm cool coming off the bench, like I just want to be part of this team, and so like.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, perfect cornerstone for your organization. Yeah. So moving forward, what do you think is his move? Do you think he just rides off into the sunset, becomes a family man, and just we never hear from him again? Or do you think he takes on a different role with the Spurs?
I could see him being in like almost like an assistant coaching role, maybe player development.
Right.
I feel like guys who are so ingrained in basketball continue playing basketball. Without making a big do about it real quick, Kobe's going to play in the Big Three, right?
Mm-hmm.
When he retired,
is it guaranteed that he's going to play in the Big Three?
Well, based off as of right now, he is playing in the Big Three.
He said
I believe he officially announced it himself.
Really?
I believe.
He was just interviewed by who was he interviewed by? Rich Eisler. What's his name?
Yeah.
And he said he's done with basketball. He's done with playing.
Well, based off what I've heard, I gotta recheck maybe some of it was started, but a lot of prominent people within the league were talking about how Kobe's coming back. A lot of the players in the league were talking about he's coming back. But what I'm saying from this is Ginobili may be retired from basketball, but I don't think you're ever done with basketball.
Right.
Now, I think he's always going to be doing basketball to a certain extent. Like he might coach youth teams, he might coach a high school team. Like he's not I just feel like those players rarely ever deviate from basketball, at least far.
If you were to, what would your guess be? Do you think he stays with the Spurs in some other spot?
I could see him going back to Europe, and the reason why was Larry Bird was a Boston Celtic. Where is he now? Well, where was he?
Yeah,
he went back to his hometown,
Pacers,
right? Ginobili's from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Or is he from or is it Portugal? I think it's Portugal. It might be.
It's oh my goodness.
I'm gonna go with Spain.
It's not Spain. It's
Argentina.
Argentina.
My bad. Argentina. He's from Argentina, so I could see him go back and help out his team. Maybe be a Olympics coach.
Okay. Well, here's what I would like to see. I would like to see him as some sort of coach for the Spurs and stick around in the league. But I would like him because he retired from the Spurs in the NBA. He could still be playing European ball.
Yeah.
And I would love to see him still doing people dirty in
Spain. Or not Spain. Why do I keep on saying Spain?
I love it. No, but in the World Games. Yeah. So how sick would that be if old man Ginobili's still doing people dirty? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's done with basketball and completely. I think he'll take on a certain role. And honestly, coaching. You look at some of the successful players who went to the GM route and how good their teams are. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So anyway, this is just kind of our tribute to Ginobili. He's an American hero, a Spanish hero, and most
Portuguese
importantly,
hero. Argentinian hero.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our little Ginobili special. So I hope you liked it. Subscribe below. Hit that little bell for the notifications because we've got a lot of cool series coming out. So you don't want to miss them. So make sure that you hit that thing because that'll notify you when those come out. And so until next time, Magic Mike and the Swag.